Hi guys, welcome back to our Express Pilates class. My name is Chris Neeson. I'm an exercise physiologist and a clinical Pilates instructor. The purpose of these classes is to give you a taste of our clinical Pilates classes. You can get some benefit out of Pilates. If you enjoy it, come try a class down here at the clinic. Now in today's class, we're focusing on some shoulder mobility and flexibility. Before we get started today, first thing I want you to do for me, we're going to do a bit of a test. At the start, we're going to go through the exercise and we're going to retest at the end. So just bring your arms up overhead as far as you can into that top position. Just holding there for a second. See how far you can get. You might even benefit from doing this in the mirror so you can see. Just feel that tightness there. See how close you get into the ears and see how far back you can get over your head. We're going to go through this mobility work, then we're going to compare that at the end. You can just see with mine, can't get my arms all the way to the ears. My arms are still out in front of me a little bit. We want to be able to get all the way back here without having to stretch. So that's what we're going to work on today. We'll make a start lying on your back. So down on the mat, you're going to have your knees bent. And we're going to start with a spine curl. That's where we tuck our pelvis, lifting your hips up off the mat, rolling up onto the shoulders, and then rolling back down. And as you're doing it, we want to lift up one vertebrae at a time. As I mentioned today, it's all about shoulder mobility. I want you to lift up and hold, bring the arms overhead, keep them out there and try and push your rib cage down into the mat first. Then work through the middle back, the lower back, and roll your pelvis forward. We get this arch under our back, bring the arms back down to our sides, and we'll go again. Roll up onto the shoulders, hold, bring the arms overhead, try and push the rib cage down into the mat first. One vertebrae at a time, roll the spine back down, then bring your arms down to your sides, reset, rolling back up and going again. Arms overhead, keep the arms out there, roll the spine down, one vertebrae at a time, trying to imprint the spine back down, then bring your arms back down to your sides, then we're going to go again, tucking from your pelvis, lifting up one vertebrae at a time, shoulders pulled back at the top, reach your arms overhead as far as you can, stretch out a little bit further on this one vertebrae down at a time. Just take it slow, try and control that movement. Each time, arms back, roll up, shoulders back, arms overhead, rib cage down, middle back, lower back, and rolling back into a neutral spine. We'll do a few more of these and you should be able to feel you can get down a little bit further each time. Arms overhead, reach it out, stretch your fingertips away, push your rib cage down, the middle back, the lower back, and bring your arms down. We'll do one more, rolling the spine up, shoulder blades pulled back. Arms overhead, reach away, fingertips stretching out, push your rib cage down, one vertebrae at a time, and then rolling back down. Bring your arms around to the side, stretch them out. We're going to continue up on our hands and knees next, and we'll work through some cat stretches. So we want to set up with your shoulders above your hands and your hips above your knees, lifting your spine up towards the roof to start. So come into this arch position. Draw your belly button up towards your spine, lift through the rib cage, tuck your chin to your chest. From there, sink down through the entire spine, let your shoulder blades pinch in together, looking up, letting the neck sink down as we look up, and then reversing back through the other direction. So it is loosening up the entire spine with a particular focus on the upper back. One direction and then the other. Once again, at the top, rounding your back, separate your shoulder blades out wide, tuck your chin to your chest. As you sink down, pinch your shoulder blades in together, feel them pinching in, look up towards the roof, tuck your pelvis forwards. Hold for about half a second at the end of each one, just to push into that stretch. Lift the ribs, separate your shoulders, tuck your chin under, hold for half a second, then rotate, sinking down, shoulder blades in, extending down as low as you can, looking up, back in the other direction, tuck your chin to your chest, separate your shoulders, expand through the upper back. Do a couple more in either direction. With each of these stretches, you'll find by the end of the set of each of the exercise, you'll be able to go that little bit further as things start to warm up and loosen up. On this next one, lift up as high as you can, stretching, separating the shoulder blades, tucking your chin down towards your chest, and we're going to finish in a neutral spine. So straight back now. Next one is called threading the needle. With your right arm, I want you to slide it along the ground, so the back of your hand is on the ground. Reach as far as you can, Then we rotate back in the other direction, lifting your hand up towards the roof, following that hand with your eyes. So we're looking at the hand the entire way. Again, thread the hand through, the back of the hand is on the ground, and then we're rotating, we're lifting that hand, looking towards it as we rotate up, and then threading back through. Bend your left elbow slightly as you thread through, reach out as far as you can, stretch through the back of the shoulder, and then lift, rotate around, fingertips up towards the roof, as far as you can in either direction. Reach that arm away, small bend through the left shoulder as you thread through, then rotating and reaching, fingertips up towards the roof. We've got 2 more, then we'll swap sides, reach through, small bend through your left elbow, as far as you can, push into it, and then come back to the other direction, rotating as high as you can. We've got 1 more, threading through, reaching as far as you can, stretching through the back of the shoulders, and then rotating up towards the roof. Good. Hand back down, same on the opposite side. So, back of the hand on the ground to start. Thread through, small bend through your right elbow, reach, and then rotate back through as high as you can. Look at that hand up towards the roof, and then rotate back down, reaching as far as you can at the bottom, rotating, looking back up, watch those fingertips overhead, and then reach through. So again, we'll have a small bend at your right elbow as you reach through. That'll just give you a little bit more range of movement. Small bend at the right elbow, back of the hands on the ground, reach through, push for half a second, and then come back, open up, fingertips up towards the roof, hold for half a second, push into it, and back through. Good. We're going to do 1 more after this, reaching up as high as you can. Thread the hand through, bend the elbow slightly, hold, reach, reverse, finishing on this one, and then bringing your hand back down. Next one, we're going to come into child's pose, so that's sitting back on your heels, reaching the arms forward. So I want you to have one hand on top of the other. Drop your forehead down, drop your hips back. Now in this position, we'll get a stretch by lengthening your fingertips away. Try and reach them up the mat, and then sit your hips back towards your heels. So we're trying to sit our bum onto our feet. Still reaching the fingertips away. So you get a stretch through the front of the shoulders. Now I want you to take that stretch a bit further. Look under your left shoulder and try and rotate that shoulder up, drop the right shoulder down. Then we go to the other side. Lift the right shoulder up, drop the left shoulder down. Continue rotating from one side to the other, lifting one shoulder, dropping the other. Look under that shoulder as you rotate. Hold for half a second, so go to your end range as far as you can, and then push just that little bit further for another half a second. Just a couple more here. Still try and reach your fingertips away, and then sink the hips back towards your heels. A little bit further, 1 more either side, hold for a full second, deep breath in and out. And then over to the other side, rotate, breathing in, exhale, and coming back to the middle. We've got 1 more stretch, lying face down for this last stretch. Hands in a sort of push-up position for the last one. We're going to use your hands to lift you up, coming into a cobra or a back extension, looking up as high as you can towards the roof, and then lowering back down. And then we'll go again. Arching up as high as you can, looking up towards the roof, using those hands to lift you up. Just go as far as comfortable. You might not want to push up quite as high at first as you ease into that stretch, but if it feels comfortable, go the entire way. Really nice and really good for the spine to take it through extension. We spend a lot of time through flexion, and coming back through extension just helps to balance the spine out, particularly through the upper back, where you tend to be quite rounded forwards and kyphotic through the rib cage. Each time, hold for half a second. As you hold, I want you to think about extending further, lifting the rib cage up, lifting the chin up, looking up towards the roof, going as far as you can over time. A little bit higher now, arching up, rather than just lifting up. Think about scooping up through the spine, lifting the rib cage, lifting the chin, so we're stretching out through the front of the body and extending through the back. Let's do 3 more. We're going to finish the class with these, then we're going to retest the shoulder mobility. Looking up as high as you can, coming down, 2 more, arching up, rib cage lifted, chin lifted, extending back, lowering back down, and last one, arching up, looking up towards the roof, extending through the upper back. Good, and lowering back down. Well done. Let's come back up standing. We'll retest that shoulder mobility before we finish. So once again, just bringing the arms up overhead as far as you can. Can feel already I can get into that position a lot easier without having to sort of arch my back to get the arms up there. Can almost get the arms in towards the ears and back down. And we'll do it side on as well. Reaching up as high as you can. You can probably see that I can get the arm all the way back now without having to lift my back and arch to the lower back. So the better your mobility to the upper body and the less load and stress you place on the lower back. Try that one, see how much freer your shoulders feel, see how much freer all that upper body feels. You'll probably feel like you're standing a little bit taller as well. So that's it for today's class. If you enjoyed it, come down and try Pilates here at the clinic. There's so many benefits to regularly doing Pilates. We can structure a specific program for you in our class. We can also give you some specific exercises to do at home. So if you get some sort of postural issues, if you get some tightness, if you get pain, shoulders, hips, knees, all those other areas, we can work on that with some core work, with some mobility work, with some strength and flexibility. You can find all the information about our classes over on the website at betterexercise.com.au. I've also got heaps more videos over there, so take a look. That's it for today's class. Great job, guys. We'll see you next week.